Back in 2010, when I first started shooting film, the world was a different place. Film didn't have that nostalgic feeling yet, and it definitely wasn't trendy. It was simply outdated. Even I, an avid film shooter these days, didn't really care much for film photography. But that quickly changed after my first roll of film. Hello and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Els, and I've basically been obsessed with photography in general since 2007. And in 2010, I started shooting film. Since then, I've seen a lot of things change in the film photography world, so I thought it would be fun to share my experiences over the past 16 years. In 2010, film photography was basically considered dead. Digital was the new and better technology, and young people like me got digital photography classes and Photoshop lessons instead of film and darkroom classes. I personally did take one extra year of photography classes in which we got to play around with a large format film camera for a bit, but these lessons were very limited and I think we were the last students in the school to get them. At the same time, most existing photographers had moved completely over to digital, and a lot of them were selling or even giving away film cameras and darkroom equipment. Generic photo stores of course still existed, but a lot of the labs had closed down. I personally only knew of one place where I lived where I could buy or drop off my film, and even they were sending it off to a lab for development. In general, I had the feeling that film was rather looked down upon as some sort of inferior way of practicing photography. I myself wasn't really looking to get into film because I really liked the clean aesthetic that I was getting from my digital photography, and why would I want to make my life harder? But just out of curiosity, I shot a roll of HP5 with my then boyfriend's Mamiya, and I really enjoyed the slow and somewhat strange experience. But I also really loved the results. These photos were looking nothing like any other photo I'd taken before, so I realized that maybe digital wasn't quite as superior as everyone made it out to be. When it comes to film stocks, there have of course been two major changes. First of all, the film stocks that we have, and secondly, their price. My favorite film stock to shoot back in the day was Portra 400. I actually preferred Portra 800, but at some point it got a little bit too expensive for my taste, so I switched to Portra 400 to make it a little bit more affordable. One roll of Portra 400 in 120 was about €7 back then, and another €7 to get it developed. These days though, here in France, you pay about €20 per roll of Portra 400, and I haven't shot a fresh roll in ages. In 2013, I was given a 35mm film camera by my cousin's husband, and I started shooting with that one as well. My preferred film stock to use in that camera by far was Fuji Superia, in either 800, 400 or 200. I'm pretty sure I bought a pack of 3 rolls of 36 exposures for less than €10 back then. These days you can't find fresh Superia anymore, at least not where I live, but I do hear you can still get it in Japan. Another film stock that I absolutely love to use was Instant Fuji FP100C. I used it with a Polaroid back for my Mamiya RZ67, which I also got in 2013. I love this film and I was absolutely devastated when I heard they had discontinued it. I remember going to my local photo store the same day that I heard the news and buying a stack of boxes for €18 each. And now I am down to my very last box. I see these going for a lot of money now, and sometimes it is tempting to sell my last box, but I just want to treasure that feeling of peeling apart instant film for as long as I can. And maybe, just maybe, one day someone will bring back this kind of film. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Like this.
Do you think you mean it? Hmm? Is it good? Sadly, this is not the only film stock that we've lost. Knowing how many are gone now, I kinda regret not experimenting more with different film stocks back in the day. I think back then I just really got the film that seemed right for the job, and since I was shooting a lot of portraits, portrait seemed like an obvious choice. And for my 35mm film, I really needed something that was versatile, that came in different ISOs, and that was cheap, so the answer was Superior. I never used to buy online, I just bought what my local photo store had on hand. These days though, I do scour the internet for good deals, and I do also shoot expired film. Especially knowing the old prices, I find it pretty difficult to justify shooting really expensive film like portrait or zines still. I prefer to shoot a more reasonably priced film stock like Kodak Gold for example, which I think has a really good price-quality ratio. But I'm not nearly as loyal to my film stocks as I used to be. If I can find a good deal on some freshly expired film or on some respooled Kodak Vision 3, then I will take it. I feel a lot of people now are really looking for a specific aesthetic in their film stock, whether it's cinematic or nostalgic, or they're looking for a specific characteristic like halation for example. When I started shooting film, I'd shoot a couple of rolls and then drop them off at my local photo store. They would then send them off to a lab to have developed, and I'd get to pick them up about a week later. I remember being so excited to see the results that as soon as I exited the store, I would open up the envelope and look at the prints. Now in the beginning I didn't even have a proper way of scanning my film. I would just get little prints and then I would scan them at home with my all-in-one printer scanner combo. One or two times I did get scans done by the lab, but they were on a CD back then and I remember not really liking this. So I ended up getting my own dedicated film scanner, the Epson V700, which I still use to this day. These days you can just get scans from the lab straight into your inbox, and if you decide to scan them yourself, you don't need a fancy film scanner. You can just use your DSLR. DSLR scanning was just not a thing back in the day, and it still feels a little bit like sacrilege to me. In the past few years, my partner and I have also been doing our own developing, just to save a little bit of money. We did ask our local photo store if we can get our film developed over there, but they sent it off to another lab and it was also pretty expensive. But I do hear that in bigger cities, labs have been coming back and they are actually thriving, which is really good to hear. In general, I do feel like the process of shooting film has actually become a little bit easier in the past few years. More and more labs are popping up and their developing times are getting shorter because they are actually doing it themselves, and you can get your scans straight into your inbox. Shooting film has also become a lot more DIY-able. There are tons of YouTube videos explaining how to develop your own film, it's pretty easy to find chemicals online, and if you want to scan your own film, you do not need a fancy film scanner. Even though film will never go back to what it once was, there are a few hopeful signs for the future. The first hopeful trend is that we've actually been getting new film stocks in the past few years. There is Harman, who put out Phoenix 1 in 2023 and Phoenix 2 in 2025. I personally really like the first version as opposed to many other people, but I have yet to try the second version. Another example is Lucky, who also brought out a 200 speed film last year, but I actually hear that they might be releasing a 400 speed film in the next month, which I personally find really exciting. And let's not forget the interesting developments over at Kodak, with now both Alaris and Eastman distributing film. The new film stocks they have brought out so far are rebranded existing stocks, but who knows, maybe we can actually expect some new film from them at some point. And not only are we getting new film, we're actually getting new film cameras. We have the Lomography MCA, the Pentax 17, and actor Jeff Bridges has even brought back the Wide Lux. For the longest time, we have been shooting these old film cameras, which definitely has its charm, but now at least we have the option to buy new if we want to. In 2010, most people shooting film were those who refused to or who simply couldn't make the switch to digital. They were the ones stuck in the past. But now I see a lot of younger people getting into film despite its price. There is a huge online community of film shooters, and there's even entire YouTube channels all about film photography. There is definitely an overall analog resurgence, in some cases even a rebellion against digital. Personally, I still shoot digital as well as film photography, and in my opinion they are two different media and they can perfectly coexist. And we have also seen many digital cameras lately trying to emulate the feeling of shooting film, so there must be something there. Now, 16 years may seem like a lot, or maybe it doesn't seem like a lot at all. Please share your experiences in the comments, I would love to read them. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!